Welcome, everyone. If you've ever felt trapped in your 9-to-5 job, constantly waiting for the weekend or that next vacation to finally feel alive, this video is for you. Today, I'm going to take you through the story of how I left the traditional office grind, started my digital nomad journey, and why it was the most liberating experience of my life. If you're considering making a big change but unsure about taking that leap, stick with me until the end. I promise, the insights I share might just be the nudge you need. Chapter 1. The struggles of the 9-5. Let's be real, on paper, my life looked pretty good. I had a stable job, a decent salary, and some career growth ahead of me. But deep down, something didn't feel right. I woke up every morning to the same routine. Hit the alarm clock, get dressed, commute in traffic for hours, spend 8-9 hours at a desk doing tasks I wasn't passionate about. Sound familiar? I realized I was living for the weekends, and even those were a blur of exhaustion. No matter how many promotions I chased, it felt like I was running on a hamster wheel. I had no time to explore, learn new things, or experience life on my own terms. The final straw was when I asked myself, is this it? Is this how I want to spend the rest of my life? The answer was a clear no. Chapter 2. The dream of freedom. During my lunch breaks and downtime, I started researching ways people were living differently, ways that didn't involve working 40 hours a week in a cubicle. That's when I discovered the digital nomad lifestyle. It felt like a light bulb went off in my mind. People were actually traveling the world, working from laptops on beaches, in coffee shops, and mountaintop cabins. They weren't tied down by a specific location or schedule. This was the freedom I had been craving. I started to follow digital nomads on Instagram and YouTube, and their lifestyle seemed like a dream. Traveling whenever they wanted, meeting new people from all over the world, building businesses and careers around their passions. I thought to myself, if they can do it, why not me? Chapter 3. Preparing for the leap. Of course, I knew quitting my job on a whim wasn't realistic. So I started planning, carefully. I gave myself 6 months to make the transition. Here's what I did during that time. Saved money. I cut back on unnecessary expenses and built a savings cushion to give myself a safety net for the first few months of freelancing. Learned new skills. I took online courses to upskill myself in remote-friendly fields, like content writing, marketing, and design. Started freelancing part-time. Before quitting, I tested the waters by taking on freelance gigs in the evenings and weekends. Created a backup plan. I listed multiple ways I could earn money while traveling, freelancing, consulting, and passive income streams like blogging. It was hard work juggling my full-time job while preparing for a new chapter, but knowing that freedom was on the horizon kept me motivated. Chapter 4. The day I finally quit. I'll never forget the day I handed in my resignation letter. It was both terrifying and exhilarating. My boss looked surprised. After all, leaving a secure job seemed crazy to most people. But for me, it felt like taking control of my life for the first time. It wasn't just about quitting a job, it was about quitting a lifestyle that didn't align with who I was or what I wanted. Yes, there were doubts. What if I failed? What if I couldn't find enough work? But at that moment, the excitement of possibilities far outweighed the fear of the unknown. Chapter 5. First days as a digital nomad. After quitting, I booked my first trip to Bali, a popular hub for digital nomads. The first few days were surreal. I worked from cafes with ocean views, met other like-minded travelers, and experienced a sense of freedom I had never known before. Of course, there were challenges. Managing my own schedule was harder than I expected. Finding reliable internet wasn't always easy. And there were moments of loneliness, especially being far from family and friends. But each day brought new lessons, and I slowly found my rhythm. I realized that being a digital nomad isn't about vacationing, it's about building a lifestyle that works for you. Chapter 6. Lessons I learned along the way. Here are some important lessons I've learned since I quit my 9-to-5. Discipline is key. Without a boss looking over your shoulder, you have to manage your time and stay productive. It's not always glamorous. Social media shows the highlights, but there are tough days too, days of self-doubt, homesickness, or technical problems. Community matters. Finding and connecting with other digital nomads has been essential. Surrounding myself with people on a similar journey keeps me motivated. Flexibility is a superpower. Plans will change, flights get delayed, clients drop off, and unexpected opportunities arise. The key is to stay open and adapt. Chapter 7. My life now. Fast forward to today. Quitting my 9-to-5 has not only transformed my career but also my mindset. I've built a sustainable freelance business, traveled to over 10 countries, and met incredible people along the way. Most importantly, I've created a life that aligns with my values. I no longer live for the weekends, I live every day fully. My work excites me because it's meaningful and flexible. And I've discovered that success isn't about climbing the corporate ladder, it's about living on your own terms. Chapter 8. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Quitting my job was one of the scariest but most rewarding decisions I've ever made. It taught me that life is too short to be spent doing things you don't love. If you've ever felt stuck in your career, I encourage you to take a step back and ask yourself, what kind of life do I really want to live? It doesn't mean everyone has to become a digital nomad, but it's about finding what works for you and having the courage to pursue it. If you're still watching, thank you for being here and joining me on this journey. If you're considering leaving your 9-to-5 or exploring the digital nomad lifestyle, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and let me know. What's holding you back from taking the leap? Or if you've already made the transition, what's been your biggest lesson so far? Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe for more stories, tips, and insights on the digital nomad lifestyle. Until next time, keep dreaming big and living free.